Hey everybody, welcome back. And today I wanted to talk about Sim Update 4 for a little bit. We're standing in front of one of the two new additions from Sim Update 4. The it's Taogs, Taogs, Huey, which was originally available in Flight Simulator 2020. And was moved into 2024 as part of the Stranger Things update as well. We'll get to that one in a minute, but let's start by starting the engine before we do a quick little walk around. The best possible alarm you can hear. So with this model, you can open the doors to your heart's content. Whatever makes you happy. They look really nice. Like I said, it comes in two variants. This one is with a cargo hoist at the bottom. There's also the rescue version, which will have on the other side a rescue hoist. And it comes with 15 paint jobs. I believe it's 15 paint jobs total. It's honestly, it's good looking. Flight Simulator does not nearly get enough helicopters as it is. So from where I'm sitting, it's very nice, and it was for free. So the other thing that was new was the Boom XB1. It's a supersonic airplane. It looks kind of funky. It's really fun to fly. It's very unique. I don't use the supersonic jets very often, but it is a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend, again, because it's free, just get it, fly it once, and see if you like it. Now, as I mentioned, this one came with the Stranger Things add-on. Well, I shouldn't say add-on, update. That includes a number of activities, and I've seen people kind of whine about it because it seems a little bit weird, on the face of it, to have Stranger Things within Flight Simulator. Honestly, I think it's kind of fun. At a minimum, you get a free helicopter out of it. However, I tried to do the activities that they had, starting with the training mission, doing the first mission, and then moving on to the second mission. There's not much for me to review there. The training mission bugged out, where mission markers just would not register. Then the first actual mission, just skipping the training, the first actual mission went fine. Then the second mission had the same issue where the mission markers didn't register at all. So I couldn't tell you if it's fun or not because I only got to fly one mission. Restarting the same mission causes the marker to fail at the same point. So I'm not going to go and try over and over again to hopefully have it work the next time, because every time you're pissing away 10-15 minutes, so it's wasteful. It's a shame it doesn't work. Hopefully for other people it does work well, but as far as I'm concerned, the missions are a bust. But again, I got a free helicopter out of it. So let's take a quick look and see if we can get this thing in here. Flight. Honestly, for me, there are two things that I'm always interested in. It's cargo planes and it's helicopters. And I will say that so far, Flight Simulator 24 has been shortchanged when it comes to helicopters. Even the free Airbus H1, not the 125, the 225, the one that is perpetually broken, the big one. It's perpetually broken. So it is nice to get a helicopter that actually flies, and so far it hasn't crashed yet, so that's pretty awesome. So what about the rest of Sim Update 4? Honestly, I read through most of the headers, and there's a lot of stuff in there, but a lot of it is one-liners, right? So I kind of cherry-picked out the things that I think are interesting. As far as stability and performance goes, I'm seeing better performance, even though if you look around right now, yeah, at low level, the landscape is still atrocious, period. It just is. It's also why flying helicopters is not always as fun. But I am, when flying airplanes, seeing noticeably better performance, and it's in 5 specific areas for me. The first one is graphics. When I'm in an airplane, I'm at the airport, the graphics are fantastic. Once I'm at 10, 20,000 feet, the world looks great. And I think overall the changes made to the underlying sim have probably helped a lot in, increasing that performance. So I'm perfectly happy with that. And you have to remember again, I am playing on a very average graphics card. This is what the average user will experience. The second item is lighting. Lighting has significantly improved, and I do mean all lighting. That includes, light emissions from lights along runways and taxiways, lights from planes. All of it looks better. Clouds look better. I used to get a lot of really grainy clouds, and now that has drastically reduced. They look more lively. They don't look flat or painted on as much. I'm pretty happy with the clouds. Stutter is gone for me. Flights over 500 miles would start to incur stutter, especially towards the end. And then when you're trying to land, it was just difficult because it would stutter way too much. That's pretty much gone for me, so I'm pretty happy with that. The last one is the EFB performance. Now, I get that you don't mess around in the EFB 24/7. Like, it's just there to help you plot a route and see where you're at. However, it stopped dropping waypoints. It loads routes much faster for me. It doesn't revert back to losing its route after you make a change. It also responds a lot faster for me when you're changing values in the EFB panel for changing cargo, fuel, or passengers. It also saved those appropriately because I did have issues with that. Honestly, but I'm just going to say that between Sim Update 3 and Sim Update 4, the EFB works fine. It's an EFB. That's it. Like, congratulations, you guys wrapped up the EFB. It works. So those are the things that, as far as performance goes, I definitely noticed have improved a lot. There are still items that I do see going wrong. If you've been paying attention, you might have noticed them going wrong here too. Floating traffic, cars and boats just floating around, going places they shouldn't. If you take a scenic flight over the Seine in Paris, you will still see cargo tankers just happily trying to make their way down the river, sometimes sideways. It's not great. The fact that that is something that hasn't been resolved yet is a little disappointing. But at the same time, there are add-ons that should probably improve that. I saw that Seafront Simulations released their vessels for Flight Simulator 2024. I'm probably going to pick that up and kind of see if that improves the water traffic. It is $20, which is not chump change. So I'm still dubbing on that one. As far as other items, air traffic control had 80 fixes listed that impact air traffic control behaviors between the sim itself and different airplanes. I'm hoping that helps people out, but I started using Beyond ATC and the default ATC is turned off. I think for Beyond ATC and FatSim users, that's not a big item. But because console players don't have that same privilege, I'm hoping that there are actually good fixes in there for them. Career mode. Career mode's mentioned 135 times in the release notes. I opened career mode. I started a flight in the Sky Courier, and I immediately got dinged again with the age-old bug for excessive G-force. I closed it. I, for the time being, have given up on career mode. There have been a good amount of fixes, and some of them I cheered on along the way. But I have soured on career mode. I'm just not... The moment I open it, I'm like, ugh, this again. So I'm going to let career mode sit for a while. I'm just not going to touch it, and, maybe in a couple months look at it again with a fresh set of eyes when I'm not so frustrated by the fact that it just isn't working well. The fun was kind of taken out of it. So it's something I'll do in the future. The weather, I will say the improvements to weather behavior, clouds look better, rain, wind, snow, it all looks fine to me. Flying through a thunderstorm is very cool. So the only thing I would say is on average performing systems, fog just looks goofy. It's kind of like your world gets saran wrapped and it just looks weird. But overall, yeah, weather is fine too. But you might be thinking, right? You look at the release notes and you're going like, wow, that is a massive update. Is this really everything? Kind of yes and no. The things I just mentioned covers about a third of the release notes. The rest of it is listing out individual updates to airplanes and the world itself. So there's like 15,000 lines, each listing out an individual change, sometimes the smallest thing. One of them, for example, is adding a thumbnail for a missing flight plan in the EFB, but only for the Airbus A330-200. Okay? That takes up an insane amount of lines, so it makes it look like there's a lot. Most of it you'll probably never see or deal with. I scrolled down randomly to the world updates. One of the lines was, you're going to have to excuse any pronunciation issues here. The line says, building Bugalaga House 02 LOD upgraded. So that line, that is taking up one line. There were hundreds of these, okay? The line is literally telling us this one particular model, house model, got a level of detail upgrade. There are thousands and thousands of these, and I'm going to be real with you, as we've been flying, the level of detail for houses is not particularly spectacular at this point. So yeah, it's a big list, but each part is just one tiny little thing. And I know that sounds negative, but honestly, where does it land me overall? I'm still positive. Compared to the initial release, this is a massive improvement. If I compare it to Sim Update 3, still an improvement. It's not as much, I think, as most people would have wanted to see, And that's entirely fair because I kind of agree with that. Um, but even so, we still got updates, we still got better performance, we still got a free airplane, we still got a free helicopter. Um, I think for PC players, most people can put it into context and accept, like, yeah, we got some improvements, and other things are still garbage. Um, and I suspect that for PC players, that is a lot easier to swallow than for example, PS5 players who are new to the sim, experiencing all of these bugs for the first time and going, what is this garbage? Um, so I do sympathize with that. So overall, again, improvement is improvement. I'm not going to deny that. I'm glad that we got some stuff for free. I will actually say I think that the idea behind doing the Stranger Things missions, the mission pack, and including a free helicopter, I really like that. I think that's really smart. I think that sets the right tone for the future and maybe, hopefully, involves some more of the, community content creators to help out with these things. Um, Absolutely, that's all positive. But I'm also not going to shy away from the fact that there are still a lot of things broken, and that is very disappointing, especially at this point. Career mode, I was actually expecting a lot of improvements to career mode. I'm not personally seeing it, and that's not great. But again, improvement is improvement. Every sim update, they do get a little bit better, and eventually it will be perfect or close to perfect. But as it stands right now, we got some free stuff out of it. That's at least something. Actually, this helicopter flies really smooth, because we just flew from Tampa to St. Pete, to my old favorite beach. There is Fort DeSoto at the end here, which is very cool in person. I'm sure it looks like hot garbage in the sim. We're gonna find out together. And honestly, that is where some of the disappointment for me does seep in. Yeah. There's a parking lot. That's interesting. It's just not there. I mean, it's there. You can see the outline right in front of us. Right there. It's flat into the sand. Yeah, but there's supposed to be an actual building there, because if there wasn't, then this giant parking lot would not make a lot of sense, would it? So there you have it. This is a really nice helicopter, though. I will say, if there's any takeaway you should have from Sim Update 4, it's that this helicopter is fantastic. I did have a chance to fly the Boom XB1 as well. Like I mentioned, the supersonic jets are not really my thing, but it is a lot of fun. So I'll say, overall, I'm not upset at the Sim Update 4. Not upset. Can it be better? Yes. Are PS5 players going to be massively upset? Absolutely. I guarantee you, if I were to open the Flight Simulator or Microsoft Flight Simulator subreddit, there's a couple of them. There's going to be a good amount of people that are going to be spitting venom, basically. I get it. I totally get it. But all I have to say about it is, this is truly... This is improvement. And if they can keep it going and maybe, just maybe, kind of increase the pace of these things. Because the EFB is working fine now, so maybe refocus on some of the bigger issues that remain. I think if they did that, the community would be a lot happier too. But that said, yeah, that's really all I have out of Sim Update 4. Again, don't let the massive amount of lines that are listed fool you. It really is not that much. It's just that they split it into such minuscule line items that it kind of fools you into thinking it's more than it is. I like the sound design of this helicopter too. I have the audio a little bit lower when I'm recording, so you probably hear less of it, but it is very nice. Yeah, I like this thing. Yeah, that's my take on it. Improvement is improvement, guys. I wish there was more to it. I wish that more was fixed. But it's not. So, here we are. Hopefully, folks are having at least a somewhat better experience with this sim update than they have before. Hopefully people are not too discouraged from playing Flight Simulator at this point. If you are, you know, do the same thing I'm doing with career mode. Let it sit for a while. Start over again with a fresh pair of eyes and a fresh outlook. But besides that, I'm just really hoping that they'll continue to work on fixing things that are broken, building a better world, and, you know, building a better sim experience. So, alright, that'll be it for me, everyone. I know that's not a lot of exciting updates, but like I said, there's just not that many exciting updates. And if you do have any particular questions about any of the updates that are in there, or how any of it works, I know there's a lot of new PS5 players as well, you can always reach out, leave a comment, and otherwise I will see you guys on the next flight.